Ho, ho, ho. Oh, you guys look so pretty. How are you?
Hi.
I miss you.
I'm
good.
Hey, my love.
Great. Oh, okay. I feel so welcome. I'm just gonna borrow some lipstick.
Ooh, nice shoes, Weezy.
Oh my god.
I love them.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that you wearing those shoes, what is the designer? What?
I'll take a minute.
Oh yeah, okay.
If you get to wear them for free, have them,
Yeah.
but you have to just promo them
And mind you, this
5
is,
times.
This is like, I was like thinking I'd sign a contract or anything. They're like, no, this is just a relationship. I was like, well, what if I don't do it? They're like, then we'll never work with you again.
Wow.
Here. Oh wow. I didn't know they were like so. I'm thinking about wearing it for my live show. But
Okay. Well, let me see. Maybe it doesn't fit. I don't know. Wait, you're on camera, by the way. Oh, right now?
yeah.
Oh, well then let's stop.
No,
No.
Mama.
We wanted to be casual like this.
No.
No, let's do the show.
Okay, you.
This is part of the show.
This is a part of our show. Clara and I are on another level. Like, we're doing different things, honey.
Wait, a part of your show is getting dressed?
No, part of the show is just starting. I don't want to be talk showy because I fucking hate that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Which, by the way, do you know when the last episode of Bible Stories is? August 2023. By my calculations.
Okay.
No, by the story.
Oh, then
And
you'll just redo some stuff.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, shit, my braid. I looked at your braid.
Oh, I thought you were doing one on purpose.
No! I would do something like that, but no, not this time.
I wanted to do the bun. Hold on, let me try to put it to the side.
Wait. Oh, no, wait, this looks really good too. Why don't you wear the hat for part of the episode and then take it off?
Okay.
Unless you don't want to. If you don't want to.
Whatever you want.
I agree, though. It looks very, very good.
I'm going to take it off and say that I'm Jewish.
Yeah. Yes, please do that.
Wait, I have to tell you something so funny about me being Jewish when we start.
No, we're starting. What is it?
It's on, like,
Yeah,
guys,
talk to me.
So Vinny and I are in the car, right? And we have been talking about this laugh we've had for so long. And I'm like, I can't remember what I said, but we laughed for like 10 minutes. You know when you have one of those laughs that don't stop?
Yeah, those are good.
So he said something like, oh, is that pork? Or whatever he said. And I was like, first of all, I'm Jewish. I don't eat pork. And he goes, you're Jewish, Weezy? Suddenly you're Jewish again? What day of Hanukkah is it? And I didn't even know it was fucking Hanukkah.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was so embarrassed.
Weezy, you know what's so nutty about all of this is that you're not even just like, oh, I'm Jewish, like, I'm Jewish by culture. No, your father is legit Israeli Jewish, has an accent.
Jewish.
Your name and your surname are the 2 most Jewish names I've ever heard in my life.
When I make jokes about being like poor or picky because I'm Jewish, people look at me and I realize like, oh, I don't look Jewy. So I have to explain myself. Oh, no, I'm half. Here, let me try to play a voicemail so you can hear my dad's voice. Bubala.
Thanks a lot. Love you.
Turn up the volume.
Your dad. You don't have to call me. I love you very much and thanks a lot. Good to see you always.
Good to see you always.
Love you, Dad.
No, wait, Weezy, you know what I've noticed about you? Because you are rich for sure, but you just went. You shouldn't have.
Yeah, I did know you shouldn't have.
No, but you are. But what I'm saying is, but for a rich person, you're pretty cheap. Not
oh my
cheap,
God, yeah.
But you're very like
Hold on,
on top
we can't
of
talk
money.
about my Jewish roots and I wear that hat.
Okay, take the hat off.
My father wouldn't like that.
Take it.
No, we don't do Santa.
No Santa. But we do sex show. Sex show is very good for my daughter.
Because my daughter, she is Dr. Ruth. She makes so much money. She talk about this sex. My dad told me a few times too.
Oh, it looks beautiful, yes.
I don't know what you like. You like the women. You don't know what you like.
Oh, because you're bisexual.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really get it until my aunt's funeral. It wasn't really a funeral. What do you call it when you just eat around each other?
Celebration?
Okay. So anyway, whatever it was. Rest in peace. She didn't want one. Plus she was cremated, so it was kind of like, whatever. But my aunt was super cheap too. So she was like, don't do anything. Don't get me just put me in a box. They're going to charge you a bunch of money for the casket. Just do a regular box.
She said this before she died.
Yeah, she was in hospice. So anyway, we're at the funeral and my ex comes, Scissors, and my dad's like...
Scissors is a woman, for those of you who don't know.
That's right, sorry. I call her Scissors because of her identity. And can't let her know. Can't let the people know.
This is a Christian joke!
Anyways, I didn't say I used to eat her see. Doesn't God love the gays? Don't do this. This is not my demographic.
God is watching us. Wait, hold on. This is your demo because you're producing this show. Oh my God, let's get started. I mean, okay, wait. We're starting the show now. You know what I was thinking about the other day?
Look at the Bible in the back. Look at the decor.
Claire's killing it. Great team here.
Man.
I just got a writer to help me write the show.
Congrats.
I needed it. I was losing my mind. We're about to start the website. Launches
Are they a
next week.
Jesus freak too?
Would you consider me a Jesus freak? And she's very familiar with the Bible, yes. I would never want it any other way.
But Jesus freak to me...
Yeah, what does Jesus freak mean? Because I
say Jesus freak when, like, if I bring something up, someone will randomly bring up Jesus. I'm like, when did he come into play?
He always comes into play.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's a Jesus freak. For example, my two religious friends that, like, I think that, like, worship the most are you and I never talk about him. At least to me, maybe because he knows I'm not his demographic for Jesus talk. But you don't care. That's a Jesus freak.
It's not that I don't care. It's who I am.
No, I'm saying you don't care about if they're someone that wants to receive it or not. This is what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, and of course I'm not, but I don't do it. I read the room. You're my friend. So I recognize my friend is someone who accepts me for everything I am.
True.
And that the way I communicate is like I need Bible scriptures to help push a point across, or like to help me synthesize information with my friends. Sometimes I now use the Bible to empathize, sometimes to understand.
Do you hear that alarm, everybody? That's Jesus coming.
Jesus is coming to...
It's Christmas. Doesn't he come in Christmas? Yes, Easter is his birthday. No, Jesus is risen on Easter.
Okay, Weezy.
Oh.
I would not speak this way if I were in a mixed company. I maybe wouldn't use that much vigor in my voice when I'm talking about the Bible. I would maybe have a little more of a universal appeal to me just because I have a responsibility to bring people to the show, and I don't want to dissuade. I've already done such a terrible job, like on Poor Minds. I mean, by terrible, I mean subpar for what the Lord. No. And even on Rory and Mal, sometimes I'm like, okay, Brie, I'm getting better. I need to be slow to speak, quick to listen. Sometimes all I need to do is tell my testimony and God will do the rest. I don't need to be overzealous. It turns people off. And that's something that I have to be mindful of. So you bring it up. I'm trying to find a good balance. I also have 25 years of atheism and like, God forgive me, but like doing the opposite of what I do now.
Which is kind of wild considering you don't even give off atheist girl vibes. I wonder if I would have even liked you then.
Do you know what happened with this Santa girl outfit that I'm wearing?
Tell us.
Can I? Hi, Tangi. Weezy, I bought this thing, fits me kind of snug too, because I was super, super skinny when I bought it. 2016 was when I first bought it. I kept it because I love the outfit, whatever. But here's the thing. When I wore it, I was bartending in freaking New York City. I didn't wear anything under but like dance lollies and a bra under.
I don't even know what a dance lolly is.
Dancers, I don't know. Like...
What you've got on now?
Sort of, yeah. Wait, hold on. I go to the bathroom to change. Clara's here setting up. I go there. Weezy, my tetas are out. Everything. I'm like, oh my God, who am I? It was like, I could smell the beer off of this outfit. My sins.
Baby.
Yes. Thank God I had a change of clothes in here. I put a turtleneck on and felt more.
Oh, you were going to wear it without?
Yes. The only reason why Clara and I have to shoot
I can't even imagine you wearing that without.
Honey, I had to bartend with this.
I might even not do that without. Well, yeah, I would.
Bartending.
Lick your teeth.
Bartending.
It's giving Santa slut. You look like a ho-ho-ho. Out of the two of us, let's just say,
What?
is this out of anyone to look like a whore today? What was her name again? Who was the hoe?
Mary Magdalene, you're talking about.
No. There was another one. I thought she was the virgin.
Rahab, the prostitute.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but she's reformed. She was restored. Okay, everyone has a past. Anyways. I do have a past.
Remove it. Thank you.
What did you think about the Rory and Mal appearance?
I thought you did a good job. Honestly, I was so confused. I spoke to someone that said you did great, and I spoke to someone that said you didn't do well. And I was like, I won't tell you who either of those people were. And I was like,
wait, can you tell me who?
No, I
Tell me
won't.
who.
I won't.
We'll bleep it.
No.
Who said
I'll never tell you.
I know them.
Yeah, but not like intimately. Like it wasn't like an Alex or something.
Who was it?
I know you want to know.
It's going to be at the back of my head. I'll bleep it. I'll bleep it for them. But
I can't tell you.
Why?
Because
you have to understand. You've already opened.
I'll think about it.
I'm going to ask you again later on in the episode. I must know. Because now in the back of my mind, I'm like I care so much about being liked that if people don't like me, I want them to like me, and it tastes good to me. It feels good.
Okay, it's not like you even talk to them often. Like they wouldn't even be someone on your mind. However, I asked them. I said, "Why do you think that she didn't do well?" And they said, "Because she didn't fit. Right? She just clearly didn't fit." And I was like, it's interesting you say that because I think that's what made her episode so good. Like, I've been watching Rory and Mal, not as long as everyone else. They've been around about 7 or 8 years. Maybe I'd say probably 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. But, like, I wouldn't expect them to sit with someone like you either if I was the viewer. I think I'm just a person that, like, enjoys conversation with people that don't fit together. Like, I like talking to virgins or, you know what I mean, people that aren't as sexually as explicit as I am. That's why you and I get along, right? Yeah. We bounce off each other well. So because of that alone, I enjoyed it. And I think, like Rory told you, he said something about, like, when people have strong opinions.
Split audience is actually the best thing. The algorithm doesn't know negative. The algorithm actually knows positive. And if you see the comments, I haven't read them at all. Per your advice, per other people's advice, don't read. But the conversation is 1,600 comments in that YouTube video. It's at 106,000 views right now. I had no clout. My star meter is pretty low in the pod realm. So I did that on purpose too. Like Clara said the same thing. Clara knows me so well. She literally is like, I'm in a relationship with her. She knows me so well. And in the car, she went, "Yeah, but you know what you did that. You knew what you were going to get when you did that." And I did.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah. Podcasters know that there's a strategy. Like I at the risk of coming off unlikable to some, I'm gaining more traction for the algorithm because I know I need it.
It's so funny you're saying this because I'm trying my best not to think of a certain situation. But I will say this much. You haven't been podcasting as long as some, and you know how to do that. It always is so jarring to me when people can go on another podcast and be confused about what they're doing if they've been in the game so long. Like, you can go on your own show and get loose and say what you want, but, like, I do get surprised when watching interviews where I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, when you go somewhere else, you need to show what your show is going to be like. My best appearance ever on podcasting was Brilliant Idiots. And that was because Weezy was who she is on Whoreible and Mandii was who she is on Whoreible. And we were exactly what you're going to get. That was the most Whoreible Decisions-esque interview. And we don't do many interviews together. We do them separately. But because of that, we were able to have so much retention from another podcast. I thought you were very Bible Stories with Brianda. Like, to me, when I watched it, right? Yeah, you got to talk about your sexuality more, so it was a little in-depth, more of an in-depth view. But, like, I didn't, think that person was, in poor taste at all of what your show is.
And can I be honest with you? My patrons, they all were like, this was a step up from the last thing, so we'll take it. This is great. So half of them were like, you were being yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
you seem very organic and relaxed.
It was a really
nervous.
It was a really
which is crazy
relaxed.
Considering, and I love Lex and Drea, but I'm just saying considering it's a larger show.
I was manic during the Atlanta thing.
Yeah, maybe other people are when they go on podcasts too.
Maybe, because some people just have that personality. But speaking of this, I'm not trying, I swear I'm a narcissist, and I love to hear great things about myself, but this is not why I'm asking this. I want to know what the characteristics were, and if you could be specific of why you decided to produce my show. I say this because you not only produce the show, but you champion for me, and that that's not lost on me, and it could be helpful for someone.
No, I think that's a good question, especially because people know we have a working relationship, and whatever. Claire was there now.
Celosa.
But yeah, that's a good question. So for one, as talent myself, I know how much work I've had to do in podcasting, and I know how much people don't realize they have to do. For example, a lot of people get jobs in podcasting, whether it be a celebrity or a big name. They don't really have to do much. They can just show up and leave and whatever. And I'm not saying I necessarily engineered my episodes, but when it comes to production, as far as like taking care of my own outlines, things like that, I've had a lot of friends that will sign deals. And it may not even be a friend that you guys are thinking, if anybody are listening, just people that will say to me like, well, how much support do you get from Black Effect? What does Charlemagne do for you? What did Loudspeaker do for you? And I'm like, they give me the platform. They put their dollars behind me to do what I already know how to do. And I don't have the fucking time, and we all know it, to put a crazy amount of creative effort into someone. I would rather just look at good talent and be able to do what was done for me. That's the patience that I have. Also, I don't need anyone who's needy. I want someone that can lean on me. I feel like I should be the liaison for things. I should be helping someone promote their shit, right? Or helping you get on shows, and paying for things. That to me is what a good manager will do. My favorite thing about my Black Effect contract, I've seen other contracts, they could be like hundreds and hundreds of pages. I think ours was maybe 6 or 8. And like creative was like one line, like full creative control up to a Whoreible Decision.
Really?
Yeah, like it was just, there's nothing else I have to answer to.
What were the things that a talent exhibits that makes someone like you with resources?
Right, back to your question. So I think I saw the same in myself. Like I knew my show was good. You're a good talent. Because necessarily Bible stories with Brianda wasn't an inception yet, right? Mm-hmm. But like essentially what you did on that Whoreible Decisions episode by having stories ready or whatever, you just know what to do. You already know what you're going to talk about. You can make it up because it's something you're passionate about, so you'll do it. All you need is basically the structure behind it. Studios are expensive, whereas I do believe WTF is, especially after what I've spent just doing other studios, like affordable. Like, you need a team, and like you've already done it before. You did Super Trip, right? And no shade to where we used to record. I recorded there too, but it's like you need something more elaborate for a show like that. And I know that, and you know that. Mm-hmm. And also, even though I love you, I probably would have done it anyway. Like, and had, like, if we were just friends, I'd be like, oh, whatever, like I'll give you a discount, right? But I was like, oh, I'll definitely get my investment worth. And I also want a piece of this. Mm-hmm. I think that with talent, it's knowing that they want to win too. They're not just kind of like being lazy about it and waiting for something to come to them. And having a agency or manager or someone to help guide you, it's a two-way relationship. Because my first mistake with having a manager was like, well, why aren't all these deals coming to me? And they were like, well, what are you doing? Are you posting a lot? Are you making content? Are you giving us a reel to work with? Are you making decks? I don't know how to do that shit. And it's like, oh, I have to do these things and make these things and help my own brand so that I can put it in your hands to get it out there. Because the number one thing a manager, I think, agency can do is get you in a door that you can't get yourself in, right? That's the biggest part of it. And sometimes you just need that platform, that leverage. I feel like I said this to you once before, and people will say that you talk about me too much, and people say I talk about Charlemagne too much. But when you have someone that really helped you pursue your dreams, you can't shut the fuck up about them. And I told Charlemagne on a call, or maybe we were in person, I was like, I have this girl I'm working with that does this Bible show. And every time I talk to her, every time I'm working with her, I think about you because she is to me what you did for me. Like, I want to make her show blow up. And maybe he doesn't feel like he did anything for Whoreible. He feels like we were already great. You're already great. But like, you know what I mean?
There's this book called Getting There by Gillian Segal. And it is You guys need to get it if you want. Clara, book here. It chronicles the lives of, I think, like 50 entrepreneurs, business owners. Warren Buffett, one of the Koch brothers is on there, Jillian Michaels, just like random successful gajillionaires.
Okay.
And this story, the book speaks to their mentors.
Really?
Yes, it's a really great book. You mentioned Charlemagne. What's the number one thing? First of all, you guys have cultivated a relationship. You just went on vacation with him and his closest friends and family, right?
Right.
Major. That's beyond business. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you and I would do.
We talked
do
about
our mentorship
work right before I got on the plane. It wasn't even like he's really my family now.
Well, the question I have for you is like, what's the best piece of advice that you see yourself pulling out at least every month that Charlemagne has given you?
Oh. Wow, this is interesting to say. Mandii really upsets me a lot. Mm-hmm. I've watched an interview that she's done where she doesn't say the nicest thing about me, and I feel like I have a little more couth to keep those things to myself, or at least say it to a friend. And
so when people are
cut that out, Claire.
Okay, blur that. But
the rest of the shit you can keep. Okay. So anyway,
minute mark that. Thank you.
You know, and I think also this is probably something else that's really nice to say about her that I will. If she considers that to be raw and real, then maybe that's why she speaks that way. Again, like, I'm not going to speak about anyone like that I'm selling a show to, selling a show with publicly, or that I've made so much money with. How could I act like I have no respect for you in that regard? And I have to learn to take these things with a grain of salt. And when those things happen, I've called Charlemagne. And I'm like, I'm done with this bitch. You know? And the reason I call him is because he needs to get ready to hear that, because he's the one who's making money on our show. We're one of the biggest shows on the Black Fan Network.
So could you explain?
He says to me,
okay,
something that I think a great mentor should do. Okay. He humbles me. And he says, look, you can do whatever you want to do, but Whoreible Decisions is Whoreible Decisions because of the two of you. And you have to make it work. You have to let these things go. And you have to, be honest about how you're feeling. He never says anything that's super Team Weezy. He makes sure to look at it very diplomatically and humble me. And I think I've had one or two conversations with you where we've been like that, where I'm like, Brianda, I have to humble you too. And there's two things about that. Not that you aren't great, or not that I am not great. It is more so about keeping that person in check for where they are today. Right?
Could you elaborate or say that in a different way?
I know I'm going to be someone that'll be a millionaire. And in my life, Whoreible Decisions won't be the biggest thing I do.
You're not a millionaire yet?
I've made that. But millionaire to me is making it past a certain mark and consistently making it. To me, that's millionaire shit.
I don't know why my dream just popped. I had a dream of you like Weezy, the millionairess. Like in a giant fur.
I've actually had to work very hard to make $1 million, and it had to come collectively from everything. To me, millionaire is when one thing brings you $1 million, and it don't.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Bring it back.
So,
Charlemagne, I've humbled you. We've humbled you.
Where else were we?
Maria. No.
Fucking ADD. Damn, you're
okay,
going to have to bleep a lot.
No, we don't. Let it go. It doesn't matter. Wait. Listen, what I'll tell...
Oh, got it. So, whatever. Millionaire, Whoreible Decisions won't be the biggest thing I do in my lifetime. I'll do something greater. But today it is the biggest thing I do. That's why I have to humble myself. Because the biggest thing that I do is shared with this other person. I know that. Maybe she doesn't. But that's why I treat her as such. I'm not going to go on and talk about how lit Whoreible Decision is and how much money it makes me and how my life has changed and then be like, well, fuck that bitch. I can't do that. And it's not because I'm sitting here in front of people publicly. It's because I genuinely can't in my right mind treat somebody that way when my life has changed because of Whoreible. I'm doing such amazing shit. TV show, right? We're in a studio I own with one of my best friends because I did that show. So I really can never. And when those moments happen and I get upset and I want to leave it all, he humbles me. And I think I've had some conversations with you where you know the talent that you are, so you'll like speak like you don't need it, a certain person or this or that, a particular podcast. I was like, Brianda, you are that great, but this many people didn't see or know it yet. So you can't shut the door on something until it's... Does that make sense?
Yes. You know what I was thinking? Oh gosh, I'm so happy we're on a funnel right now. And it was after coming off of Rory and Mal. You guys didn't hear about 30 to 40 minutes of the conversation. They were actually my favorite parts they took out. But it doesn't matter because I felt them, I experienced them, and now I developed a really cool relationship with them. But something came up about changing in order to succeed. And Mal made this point where it was like, no, you don't have to change you. You need to like believe in you to succeed. And it really made me think, because for so long I thought the formula was, I need to tick off I need to be the best speaker. I need to be well dressed, this polished version of something in order to gain wide reach, which is what I ultimately want. Like ultimately, I want the world, and I'm sure you do too. There's something in us, people like us, that
maybe that's the other thing. Maybe I saw something in you that reminded me of me.
You freaking narcissist.
I do. I'm like, that's pretty.
But listen, hey, some people want to become parents because they want their mini thems walking around the world. That's legacy. That's legacy. But I guess I wanted to say the point that the conclusion we came to was, instead of harping on what I need to change in order to meet the masses, I can just be here who I am, which of course every day trying to be the best I can be, and blah, 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 obviously assess, recalibrate, trial, error, do what you got to do. But if I go on Tiger Belly tomorrow, Bible Stories automatically gets to 30,000 subscribers, 40,000.
I don't even know what Tiger Belly is.
It's my favorite podcast in the world. But what I'm saying is, the point is, I just don't have the eyes on me yet. I don't really have to change me. You know what I mean? For so long, I thought I had to change in order to be there, and I don't. And that was really dope, a point that Mal brought. Shout out to Mal. What a wise guy he is.
I have something that just popped in my mind.
ADD. Okay, what?
Ooh, look at this fucking ADD show.
Hi, Tangi.
When it comes to thinking about you. So...
We're not talking about me, Weezy.
Yes, we are.
People are literally going to think that I'm interviewing myself again.
No, they're not. You and I... Am I on this show because we work together? I think people are interested in that relationship.
Okay, what? Go.
And it's also some gems. So I work for a man named Barris, who is an amazing director, and most people know him for Girls Trip, Girlfriend, Blackish, which
Black AF on Netflix.
Black AF on Netflix. There you get to see him. Anyway, he calls me one day, and I was like, I called him. I was like, can you get my Instagram back? And I never call him. He was like, Weezy, what the fuck? Like, why is your Instagram gone? Like, does someone not like you? And he's like, I feel like you're so likable, man. And he says, and you know what? He's like, you're going to get everything you want. You're going to be great. You're going to do so much big shit. And he's like, he said something about my TV show. And he goes, I know you want to do that, but I mean, you'll do it. You'll do whatever TV show you want. But the money is in producing. And once you understand that, then you'll be making the millions that you want. Because I don't even know what million I'm talking about, right? When I was younger, I used to say, I want 6 figures. Now I'm like, that's too low. I need more than that, right? And then you just said, you're not a millionaire. And I'm like, well, I made it, but it ain't enough millions, right?
Sure. I get what you mean.
So really, in that conversation, I brought you up. I was like, when that hit me? When I met Brianda. Because, no offense, producing is so much less effort. You just really need the money. You need money to produce something, right? You need to have money and connections to produce. And once I can do that, I can like get a little bit of the feel for the talent. I loved sitting where Clara was sitting because it's like I could talk when I want for a little bit, but not too much. Because I do it enough. And I was like, that is really where the big bucks are. Smart people fucking know that.
Can I let the Bible Babes know, for those of you who don't know or who have never been to a Whoreible Decisions live show, it's a madhouse, a zoo. Pre-pandemic, when I went to the Boston show, you were people were treating you like a rock star. I've said this to you after your LA show. You 500 seater.
Bro, people in LA, it's so funny.
Sold out. Kiki Palmer was at your show. Kiki Palmer was at your show. The internet darling. Like, do you realize that? Oh, not even you. The internet is so cool. These internet personalities are kicking it in with these live shows.
So funny you say that, because I think Kiki didn't even realize. Like, I've known Kiki for like almost 2 years now, and she said like, "Oh my God, this is incredible! Like, I was never ready to see something like this" when she was at the show. And I was like, we have no idea what the hell a live show is. When someone says a podcast live show, they don't get it. And I don't even think I'm not stand-up-y. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
It's more improv / like informational. I don't know what, a variety hour. I can't even tell you what it is.
Variety hour sounds good.
Coming from the TV film side of things, the seeing the spike in podcast live shows and seeing how much money is in it. Let me tell you something. A lot of people are not privy to
people have
what the internet is doing right now.
Idea how much you make from a live show.
That's what I'm saying.
And I want to just, not to give you a range.
Give it to them. How many zeros for one show? LA, how much money did you make?
LA was our lowest because of the theater cost.
Regal? Where?
Tens of thousands. 10,000 Mandii and I used to make when we were doing our own live shows on tour together, like having to fund our own. And even at one point, her and I were able to make 20 because of the what we were selling. Like, so I would just say that.
And you also sell merch there too.
Right. But it's way higher than you think. And another thing you need to understand too, anyone who's listening, when a venue pays for you, quote unquote, whereas Mandii and I used to rent the theater out, by the way, which we made great margins on. I remember Gotham.
Podcast
No.
studio.
Sorry, no. The Comedy Club. Or maybe it was Caroline's. The venue cost us $7,000. Ticket sales maybe were like 18. Things like that, right? Like, we were like trying to figure it out. But now that we could seat more, we can make more. But the other reason that these venues pay so much is because if they know you'll sell out 500 people, that's not just the ticket. Because technically, we'll almost take the ticket money. It's like they make
food,
bar
drink.
money. They're making so much money on that bar. I mean, because who's not watching a show about... Are you bleeping every word out, Claire? Because I'm going to give you as least edits as I can.
Girl, stop it. We're good. Go.
Second shows and not want to get a drink. Like, you need to get fucked up to hear this shit. So, anyway, I say all that to say, you have no idea. Like, when people are talking about how you can branch out a brand, that's why... I got so upset, and I spoke to you about that monetization comment.
What was the monetization comment?
When I watched Mandii go on a show and say that Whoreible Decisions, is not monetizable and whatever, and I'm just like, and literally the week before, and I tweeted about it, Charlemagne said to me, we talked about ad money on Black Effect. I was like, we can't get ads, and like that part is frustrating.
Can you let the listeners know what Black Effect is?
Sure. Black Effect is a podcast network under the iHeartMedia umbrella, and Charlemagne, the god, owns it. It's his branch or subsidy.
And they provide Whoreible with
salary plus ad compensation, marketing dollars, other business opportunities. That's really what a network can do for you, right? Kind of like the same with you. Like, they'll pay for things up front and get recouped. So because I have the studio, we don't do a recoup. We just pay for our own production, obviously. But it's kind of like the same. That's what a network does for you. And promises to help you build numbers. So anyway, and her and I have had this conversation before, to her point, which she's right. We've talked about that, but I would never speak about Whoreible Decisions like it's not a moneymaker.
Is sex?
So the brand.
Yes.
So the conversation we had was, we were talking about if we were happy, and I was like, the ad thing kind of sucks, but, and he goes, Weezy, I've been talking about giving you guys a book deal. This is not about ad dollars anymore. He's like, who cares? You're going to make money doing everything else. Your Breakfast Club appearance is not to get you more ad money. This is to make your brand make you money. Like, that is monetization.
So you want to expand your brand with, like, continuing the relationship with someone you don't see eye to eye with long haul, or do you expect, you know what I mean? So like, I see expansion. You would do that?
I think that it's not whether I want to do it with her, whether
you're talking about the brand, the entity has a heartbeat on its own.
Right. Whoreible Decisions as Mandii and Weezy is what's profitable. Right. Like that brand itself, it has nothing to do with my relationship with her because of what people want from that. Right. So like, yeah, I could say I don't want to do this with Mandii anymore, but then the product changes. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it could grow and be as large as Call Her Daddy without the other person. That also could happen. One of us could leave, but as I know it and I see it, and also since inception, and to be honest, I have way more, in my opinion, respect for Mandii than I think Alex does Sophia, which is why I really speak the way I do about Alex, because I am disgusted with how you could treat someone after something goes wrong in a business deal, especially with knowing some of the things that Sophia has told me and just hearing through the space that they're true. You know, not even mentioning her in an interview. Like when you acknowledge, you know, the people that are in place to get you somewhere, it's very important. That takes nothing from you. Like that is a very important piece.
When I see you, I see the Lord.
Oh my God.
You're gonna hate this. I'm sorry. And I know that came out of nowhere, that came out of left field. But just hearing you talk, like even being around you, you know how you were saying, you know, you talk a lot about Charlemagne, whatever, and I talk a lot about you. It feels like a moral obligation too, and it happens involuntarily. Like I even see you having such like a profound influence on my life. Like
same
people
with you.
People are coming up to me for asking for advice and stuff. And I have to talk to you about being a rock star too. Put a pin in that, Clara, rock star. I was watching Bad Friends, which is another Bobby Lee podcast. It's one of my favorites. Bad Friends.
Oh, he was on Sex and the City too?
Yeah, I know. They have this B-mic person that sits on the side. The whole dynamic of the show is very goofy, silly. I like goofy, silly stuff. I'm surprised we haven't cracked jokes here right now. Like, that's weird. My ADHD makes me go crazy.
Oh, God's funny.
But no, you're just dropping a lot of gems. No, seriously, I'm really enjoying this time. But this is how much of an influence you have on my life. And I'm sure this is the influence that Charlemagne had on your life and someone on Charlemagne had on his life, and so on and so on and so on. It's God. It is God. It's legacy. It's honoring. It's respect. It's paying it forward. It's God. But I was watching Bad Friends, and there is this friend of theirs named Doc. He's a comedian. He never made it. And I mean this respectfully. These men are professional comics at the top of their league, Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. And same with actors. Like, we work with people who gave up year 1, year 2, which is not in a negative way. I think there's a lot of strength in quitting. Yeah. Seriously, if you got to quit, pivot. You know what I mean? People don't talk about that enough. I'm pivoting right now. Right. I'm leaning in on podcasting because it's all I have and I don't want a real job. But anyways.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? No, for real. But on the show, Doc, they brought him on and he's become quickly a fan favorite. So they've been bringing him on pretty routinely now, like once a month, once every other week. When I speak out, you guys, I'm looking at Clara, by the way, because I want to keep her involved. I love my baby. But he's amazing. He's so vulnerable. And sometimes he'll say things. Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino are multimillionaires. They're so rich. And you can see it. You can see the kind of the gap when they speak. Like, I think Doc had roommates at he's like 40 something, 50 something, you know, there's certain things that he'll make. And then Bobby cannot hide his face. Bobby will just be like, oh, you know, which sucks. But that's why they're bringing him on, so he can like build an audience, sell out shows in LA or something. But the other day he came on the show and he was drunk, but he was hilarious. The most recent episode on Bad Friends, I'll put it here if you guys want to watch it. It was hilarious. And in that moment, the first thing I said was, Bobby and Andrew would be smart to invest in him. They need to develop a show for him. They need to produce it. They need to make sure that all things are covered for him. They need to do that. The first thing I thought was
That's what Kevin Hart does.
You have such an influence on me that in my head, I'm like, I can spot talent. I can see a heart that'll fight. Like there's a hunger in some people. And that's what I would invest in when I'm a producer, because I want to do the same thing you're doing. That's what happens when you pay it forward. That's inspiration. That's creation. That's God is doing that for other people.
It's not God. It's greed sometimes too. But
not for me, I guess.
Not for me either.
Oh
let me not lie.
Let me make sure you're not lying to my people. It's a little bit of grief for you.
It's a little bit. That's all right. But
influence.
But I'm telling you though, when smart people, successful people, now that I'm hanging around people that have like hundreds of millions.
You're hanging out with
it's funny. I was talking to Donna Rollins, and I hate to diminish him to just Ashy Larry because he's such a great comedian. But he said to me, I'm out right now. I'm at Formula One. I'm hanging with billionaires. And I joked with him. I was like, I'm on the right track because I'm hanging with 100 millionaires, but I'm about to get right there. And we're laughing. And he's like, yo, when I'm hanging around them, like, I'm like listening to what they're talking about with money, and everything they talk about is, no, it's always successful shit. Bro, that is so true. When I get on the phone with Charlemagne or Kenya, we got 5 minutes maybe. And I only speak about them because they are who I work for and with. So I have a very close working relationship with them, so we have to talk often. I got 5 minutes of messy shit before they're done, right? Wow. And it's always just like a moment in traffic or something. I'll just have a second. Kenya be like, we'll start talking about maybe Astroworld or Travis Scott or, Kyrie and the vaccine, and we'll joke about it. And then he's like, anyway, so I want you to hit up this person, and this is what we're going to do, and blah, blah, blah.
You know that you do that, right?
No.
You know that you do that. Yes, you do.
You think?
No, I know. You do that, babe. But I think that's
because we gossip so much.
No, we do. But that's God forgive me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Oh, God.
Brianda just told me you can't gossip, and it's part of the Bible.
It's not. Gossiping is.
Oh, and she was talking about you, Clara. She goes.
She doesn't gossip.
Brianda. She goes. Something we were talking about you, and she's like, "Oh, I love Clara so much." Oh, but I'll tell you, she just doesn't gossip.
But that's a good thing. No, that's why. I'll tell you how it started. I said Clara is more like Christian.
Yes, that was it.
Than some Christians that I know. You are so moved by your morality, your morals. You're such a great girlfriend.
Right. She's so Christian. I'm like, what do you mean? Just because she's got
No, I don't know. I'm not saying that you can't live by your morals and not be a Christian. That's not what I'm saying clearly. But what I'm saying is that trait is very rare, and it's a product of disciplined spiritual practice.
Were your parents religious?
No.
Oh.
It's just who she is. This girl is like, she doesn't gossip. She doesn't if it involves anyone else's business, she doesn't talk about it. It's like the most mature, spiritually sound, at peace thing ever.
And the funny part about
Weezy and I are messy. We like mess.
I remember being in the car, and I said to Brianda, I was like, we could look up some shit on TMZ right now and talk about it for now. It doesn't even have to be someone we know.
And we'll do it.
Is that like a... I was going to say a Hispanic thing. Is that a black people thing?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Because my mom's Seventh-day Adventist, and I'll still catch her being like, oye, tú viste esta muchacha que está preñada. Like, she'll just be like...
pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh.
She'll like, bueno, embarazada, but Dominicans say preñada. It's,
my mom loves to call me while she's scrolling on Instagram, and she'll start saying something really nice. How are you, honey? Good. Okay, good. Let me tell you, so-and-so's getting big. I'm like,
yes. My mom said that to me about my thumbnail. I told you she screenshot a thumbnail to me, and she said, Brianda, Nidia says you are getting a little fat. To me.
I always expect my mom to like say something motherly. Speaking of being fat, I tell my mom I'm getting lipo. I thought she was going to be like, you don't need it. She goes, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm telling you,
my mom would say the same
once
thing.
You do it, you're going to look.
Yep. I feel like we have the same mom.
It's so fucked up.
We have the same mom. We really do. Except your mom was way more fabulous, definitely had more money. And she definitely was my mom was the bread maker in my family.
Oh, my mom was the housewife.
Breadwinner.
Yeah, your mom was housewife.
Oh, well, I want that life. I think I want that. I want to submit. I want to be led. I want someone to take the reins. I need someone to make the plan and I'll follow. That's what I want.
My mom.
Are you sure though, Brianda, about this? Because you like to say this, but you like to be in control.
Ooh. Clara, what do you mean, Clara? Would you like to expound on that, Clara?
Yes. You say you like this, but you actually like to be in control. Like, you can let people take over as long as it's within your margins.
Okay, but
that's a fucking fortune cookie right there.
No, I know. I'm telling you, she really knows me very well. And
I think that's true.
Right? Wait, hold on.
You know what? You're very controlling even about what you can, and this is a very good thing, about what she can hear about herself.
Yeah.
Brianda will call me, for anyone that's listening or her Bible babes, she'll call me and tell me exactly what she has the bandwidth to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me just tell me a little bit. I already know about, just tell me this.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that's really good.
It's a boundary.
When you ask for advice, sometimes you don't know what you're asking for. And even with Brianda and I, you know, when I'm asking for advice, sometimes she'll stop herself or I'll stop her. Okay. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But that's a very good thing. You know what you can take.
Or even like when I hear you talk about food and stuff, just to give it a different example, a different angle.
Yes.
But like when you talk about calories and stuff, I am recovering an eating disorder. I'll have to tell you because we're friends. I have to say, hey, by the way, no talk about calorie counting, no talk that like literally is triggering. Nothing else for me is triggering other than food, body stuff. I think that's something that I learned. It's a tool that I learned in therapy when I was trying to be like a good girlfriend to my ex-boyfriend. I was trying to figure out a way to best communicate and best receive criticism or even just receive the likeness of someone else without it having to completely do a number on me or leave me impaled, because I won't tell them that I'm hurt. What'll happen is I'll stow it away. But the more you keep stowing away things that you keep like stomaching like that, it's going to come out somewhat one way or another. So these tools, these boundaries that I implement for myself, it is a little controlling for me. My sister hates it when I do it.
No, but you need
but
people
I need
that
to do it. Otherwise
you need to know what you can take, because some people are like, give it all to me. I'm an open, like, you know, like I'm a sponge. I can handle it. Like,
no.
Dude, I've had to cut myself off of, like, I was obsessed with knowing what people were thinking about me that I couldn't see on Instagram, right? Whether it be a Reddit or a Lipstick Alley, I needed to know, you know, and I really had to wean myself off of just knowing. Now it's easier because I really believe that after so long of doing this show, I'll always hear the same thing. I talk over people too much. I'm a pretentious bitch, and
couldn't be farther from the
or
truth.
too emotional or a whore. Like I know the things I've seen, right? And I can handle that. Like I know that there's people out there that think that, and it's okay. But in the beginning, and I told you this with Poor Minds, like, you know, you needed to know. You had to see it. Like I had to cut myself off because a lot of those things really meant something to what I was thinking about myself. People that didn't know me, you know? And there's moments, like I said, that aren't you're not your best self. You on Poor Minds. There'll be moments I may say things on Whoreible that I don't mean or misspeak. And yeah, it's not a reflection of who I am, but when you're sitting up and you're entertaining and you're talking for an hour, it's like, who knows what you might say? I might be like, fuck those kids. And then I'm like, oh no, not those kids.
Yeah. And also the Weezy from 3 years ago, it's not the Weezy from today. The great part about podcasting, and this is why I love it so much, even though
the growth
and also the evolution, and people literally grow with you. They feel a part of you.
You cannot have said that better. Here, we can leave this on my mom. Hey, Mom, I'm recording Brianda's show.
You're recording me?
Brianda's show. Do you need me?
I just needed you to send the 75% to CJ.
But you didn't tell me what kind of phone it was, Mom. My mom leans on me so much, and it's great but frustrating at the same time because I love doing these things for her. Obviously, my mom calling me for $75 is not a big thing, right? And then and even someone might be listening to be like, well, if you're taking care of your mom, why does she need $75? Oh, my mom does not know how to budget. This is how I have to take care of my mom. I pay all of my mom's bills, and then I give her money. My mom gets paid on Mondays and Fridays. What's today?
Monday.
My mom gets paid today, right? So what does she do? She will spend all of it and be like, I spent a little too much. Just give me a little extra to put it over the top. Wow. Oh, well, there's something else I need because I was waiting for the other day.
But you know what? She did that with your dad. Your mom's always been taken care of. For example,
I know.
My mom will never.
I'm just sending it to her right now while you're talking. Huh?
My mom doesn't have that in her body. My mom would first be broke before she ever asked me.
My mom has no shame. My mom went up to a boyfriend of mine because this is what she knows. It's almost like there is no shame because this is how she's lived her life. My mom went up to this guy I was dating. We were at a bar. She's like, "Give me a 50." And he looked at me like, "What the?" She's like, "No, I'm gonna go get us drinks, but I need 50." And it was like, no, please, no, nothing. And I was like, Ma. And I had to remind her, like, And, I'm so sorry. Gila, you ask him.
Your mom is so sweet, though.
So my mom has no idea, but she's been asking me for years. I'm not kidding. She's like, Gila, my greatest pleasure would be going to Paris with you. I have such a dream. I want to go to Paris with you. So I'm taking my mom to Paris for her 70th birthday in a few weeks.
So cool.
She's going to get the gift on Christmas. And every time she tells me what she's spending, I'm going to be like, stop! We are going to France, bitch!
Oh, no, she's going to love Paris.
Oh, I know. I got her first class.
Wow.
It was a free upgrade, though. You get a certificate every year.
I've never been first class.
Oh, my God. We got to fly together.
I want to do it myself.
No, I mean, I get the free upgrades with my...
No, but I want to earn it myself.
Bitch, shut up and lay down on the bed. That is like...
I want to get my own first class ticket.
I don't have to pay for it, Brianda. It's an upgrade that comes with my companion.
Okay, well, how much would it cost and then I pay you?
Yeah, you buy your ticket and you'll just get upgraded because we're together.
Oh, okay. That feels better for me.
Let me tell you something.
What?
That is the only thing. Like, I'll say things like, oh, did my life really change? Like, I maybe have nicer things or whatever, but that fucking experience, it's exactly what they say, man.
Hey, Weezy.
Weezy, when you get booked for shit, Brianda,
Weezy, what?
And I'm your agent, I'm putting it in there. First class. Thank
Weezy,
you.
I need you to put this. I want Whoa Vicky on the show. Whoa Vicky, you know Whoa Vicky?
I know she loves Jesus now.
No, she's been loving her. She's just starting to go viral because of it. She's always been about it.
Y'all see me out here looking cute, dressed up for church to go see Jesus. Mrs. Put It On for Jesus. Call me Mrs. Put It On for Jesus.
Yup.
Yes.
And you want to talk about God.
Jesus. Yes.
And how God changed her life like
The
that.
kids love her. That's why I want to bring younger kids into Bible stories. But I want Shan, your friend Shan Boudram, excellent. She's such a great speaker. I disagree with her with almost everything.
Really?
Almost everything.
Think of something right now. What?
She advocates for people dating multiple people at the same time. I couldn't be further from the. No, that's not for everybody. You got to be careful when you're saying that, because that advice, if I would have heard that at 18 and I did that, would have done way more damage to me.
However,
What?
devil's advocate here. Maybe devil isn't a word we say on the show.
It is. It's real.
If you're dating one person in today's modern era, these people are not expecting what you're expecting. Our expectations for men are way too high. I want some fairy tale shit that not very many men can do. It's just the truth, right? It's like, what are they, in a crab barrel or something? What's the term?
Crab in a crab boil?
Whatever.
You ask me?
Oh, no.
It's something.
Don't go over
But
there.
basically, it's just very difficult, I think, to have this chivalrous person or someone that's looking for what you're looking for. So I think putting your eggs in one basket isn't necessarily the smartest thing to do, particularly because I think we are looking for something that existed a long time ago, that everyone is talking about monogamy and polyamory, and in this way that people are growing up with that as teenagers. I didn't grow up with that as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with monogamy and dating one person. And
understood.
So I think if you're not dating multiple people, you'll really get your heart broken because
you're polyamorous, no?
I'm not poly. I'm non-monogamous though.
No, you used to be poly. Is that
I never use the term poly because
Why?
poly means relationships with other people.
Okay, so
He can fuck other people.
your boyfriend can have sex with other people.
Yeah.
And you can't have sex with other people. But
Can.
Can. But you guys are in a relationship.
Polyamory is having relationships, plural.
You're just
At
non-monogamous.
one relationship, right? So one relationship and sex with other people is non-monogamy. Having multiple relationships is polyamory. Have I crossed that line? Sure.
Right. How conducive do you think that is to motherhood, which I know that you want?
I don't really know if I believed that it gets in the way of motherhood, particularly because I've done a really good job with understanding at the core of I think you know this, particularly with Old Bay and I talk about all the time what we want with money and life goals.
So you've done a good job at communicating and understanding future plans.
Yes.
Copy.
Now, has he done some things that have pissed me off? Yes. But for what we want for our life, absolutely. Like the sex doesn't really fuck anything up. You know what I mean? Like, we want the same things. We both want children. Now, we have issues communicating and different things like that, but I don't necessarily think the non-monogamy made it less likely to have children with him. I don't think that it can do that to anybody. I think if anything,
Really? That's
non-monogamy can expose some dishonesty. It can expose things you were unhappy with, but I do not think it can mess up motherhood. I meet plenty of healthy couples that have kids and still are sluts.
Wow. If you think about it, though, even if your parents are in a monogamous relationship, sex is always out of the child's life. I'm pro monogamy, I'm a monogamous relationship, but sex is always supposed to be like out of the children's life. So if the child is not going to see who you have sex with and who you don't, how is having sex with multiple people going to affect the children's life?
It will. I mean, how can I even begin work? How could I? There's so many holes I could poke in that.
That's the thing
child
too.
Doesn't even see
lifestyle choices. Go ahead.
You're witnessing me short circuit.
She is sweating.
Of course, the child is not in the room or a part of that. They may not even understand the complexities of sex. First of all, that depends on the child's age, whatever have you. But to say that the child will not be impacted by extramarital relationships or whatever is also not honest.
How is the child going to know?
Because they know their parents, and they know that when there's strife between parents, they can feel
strife.
that.
You're talking about strife. That's something different.
But what I'm saying
is... I agree with you there. That's why I said dishonesty will expose that. But strife and people that are not doing it correctly. If you are in a healthy non-monogamous relationship, nothing. It will affect nothing to do with motherhood. How would I know a difference? If your parents fuck every night, and they're healthy and excited about it, and your parents fuck every night with the neighbor, what's the difference?
How many women do you know that are okay with being the side woman?
What is the side, though?
Or okay, the person who doesn't have the children is the side, in my opinion.
The one that doesn't have the relationship.
The relationship, there we go. The person
that doesn't have the relationship.
I don't know too many women that are gung-ho about doing that unless they're oblivious to it.
But what would that have effect on the kids? Because we're talking about the parents having that relationship.
The non-monogamous relationships. I'm convinced that when a parent, and I'm talking about children, not once you're older, do whatever you got to do. I'm convinced that when parents, people, adults are involved in other relationships outside of the dynamic of the where the child is, the parent of the child, whatever the main relationship is, and also with the child, I think that's a distraction. I think that could be time away from parenting.
I think that. You know what I'm saying? I could see, maybe it making you too busy.
Now, let me tell you, I have an uncle.
I think a healthy polyamorous or a healthy non-monogamous relationship.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I have an uncle, and I'm not going to say his name. I'm really sorry, cousin, if you're listening to this, but I'm not saying names. We found out that he had a relationship. Yes. My uncle was a very well-to-do, he made a lot of money, and he could afford it. He could afford to keep a secret family.
So Dominican.
Mouths fed. So Dominican.
I had a friend in Spain. Her dad was the same.
Yeah. It wasn't until she was in her late 20s that she discovered that the girl, her half-sister, is also in her 20s. So he was the whole time he could afford it. And the wife had no idea. My aunt had no idea. So I know that there's a way that a man can be present, available, make sure that everyone's mouths are fed and be able to go to Disney World at the same time. If men can afford it, they can definitely do it. But guess what? Guess what happened now, though? Now it has completely impacted her relationship with her father. She has obviously...
Because her father was a liar.
But that's different, yeah. He was cheating.
The problem with what's happening today is everybody expects to have non-monogamy. That is the larger issue, right? They expect you to be so open, down, and cool with sleeping with whoever. That's not everybody's cup of tea. Mm-hmm. And so if you...
and only OG Puff Gang Super Trip Talk listeners will know this, because I used to talk about it on Super Trip a lot. And Clara knows this as well. But I'm almost trying to have the opposing angle because we're on a podcast here and I'm trying to stir up conversation. But I think my soul, internally, I am a non-monogamist as well, but I will never act on it.
What?
Never, ever act on it. Like, for example, I've said this before, and I'm trying to find the right words because so much of myself is contradictory for people, for the everyday consumer. Psychedelics, weed, and Christian. There's so many things that are disruptive to people's understanding of me, and I get it. I know what I'm signing up for, and this is not going to help, I'm sure. But I always realized in relationships, and maybe I was in the wrong ones too, you never know, but I always kind of never really cared if they flirted around me, or I kind of liked it. Or like, I also like flirting. I would hate to feel
That's
like...
ego.
Pardon?
When we enjoy somebody that we're dating getting flirted with someone else, that's because like, oh, I know he's hot. I had a friend of mine.
Yeah, a little bit of that. A little bit. It's nice to
me.
have a desirable man.
Oh, yeah. He said this to me, and it was so honest. And when he said it to me, I was like, bruh, I wasn't ready to hear him say this. Like, it really hurt to hear. But he's like, he's having problems with his partner, and he goes, Weezy, I need to say something, and I need you to just listen to me. He's like, sometimes I look at her, and I wonder if she's pretty enough for me. And he's like, and when I'm with other women or friends, and men look at them, why does that feel good? And I was like, that's ego. Because if you didn't have ego, you wouldn't care. It's the shallow Hal thing.
We all have ego.
You think so, though? Because I love to have girls be attracted to my man, but I would never want him to flirt back.
Why? What do you think that is? Because
I don't know.
Like,
I've heard you say that too.
You don't want to be with the ugly person in the room that no one wants to look at. You know what I mean? Like, you want, of course, like, I understand every girl that's attracted to my man. Hey, I understand. I'm attracted to him too. But, and I always tell him that, like, you could be walking down the street and have girls throwing their underwear at you. I wouldn't be mad. But if you grab that underwear and smell it, now we have a problem.
I don't even think either of you have really touched on it yet. Maybe you were about to. For me, it's more of it's so natural to want to engage and connect with people. And I know what I'm bringing. I can imagine what kind of man that attracts. And I don't know him yet. I don't know who it is. But if my record of men is any indication to who I would be dating, they're going to be someone who is a well-spoken, intelligent person, relatively attractive. I like attractive men. Who am I? It almost feels like, who am I to have them feel not imprisoned. It feels like almost like imprisoned to not what I'm saying. I don't want my man to sleep with someone else or whatever. But to be able to a playful flirt, I don't find anything
you're saying
wrong
it's
with
a
that.
natural thing. It's true.
I think
but for you to enjoy it a little bit is ego.
And I don't see it as a natural thing. Like, it doesn't come out naturally for me to flirt with anybody if I'm in a relationship. And
it does that's even worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just different nature and different people. We're just different.
You are very, very different in that regard.
That's what I'm saying. She's almost more Christian than me. It
almost doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God. I was walking down the street with you.
She's more Christian than me.
When we were in Hell's Kitchen, I was walking with her and her partner and this very, very attractive, I'm not even dragging it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, and I don't know what she was looking at, but she stopped talking or something. I was like, oh, you saw him too, right? And she said, saw who? And I said, stop lying. You're just saying that because he's here. She was like, I really didn't see him.
I was looking at a girl that was passing by on a wheelchair.
She doesn't even, she has blinders. We could be in anywhere and I'll literally be like, oh, he's so hot. She's like, oh, I didn't even notice.
It's not blinders. It's just like genuinely not interested. Like,
that is.
Not me. Listen, you're
that
bisexual.
Is some good sex you must have.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's gotta be good. Because if you can't even see, I
see everything. I was gonna say, I'm not bisexual, but the way I check out women, it's like I'm bisexual. I check them out. I check out their fucking elbow, armpits, everything. I don't know why. But same with men. I just check out people. I don't know why. I like analyzing them. I love like looking at beauty, especially in New York. There's so many beautiful people here.
I like that.
And then sometimes for my ego, I need to tear beauty down a little bit. I'm like, those aren't real. Sorry. Yeah. I do that in LA a lot. Something about New York beauty is a little bit different. And I'm only saying this because I'm back and forth so much. But I will say this. I am going to get liposuction. One, because the Lexapro made me gain weight. It's really hard to lose it. And 2, I'm wondering if LA is an influence on that. Only because I am learning that some of my favorite influencers or fitness girls I've met at parties, whatever, and I've learned that their bodies aren't real. And that alone has made me be like, word? Because I have an idea of what a fake body looks like. It's this build a bitch look, crazy butt.
Claremont twins.
Yeah, like very
Cardi B.
overdone.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell you, I'm going to show you guys after, this girl's body looks so good. And I was like, we were out eating at a dinner. I was like, I can't believe you eating rice. We were at Tao. And she's laughing. She's like, girl, I eat whatever I want. And she was like, honestly, the fat deposit doesn't even work there anymore.
Wow.
I said, the fat deposit? I said, what? I said, do you take a pill? And she's like, I had a little lipo. And I'm looking at her, and this girl's maybe 125 pounds. I'm like, so how'd you get the lipo? Why'd you do the lipo? And she's like, I've always been fit. And she is, to her point, arms, legs, whatever. She's like, but it's just, I couldn't get rid of this, and I just needed to suck it out. And if I know I'm working hard to get it somewhere, but like, I'm trying to kill myself, I just take it out. Like, that's all you have to do. She was like, recovery was like 3 weeks, I was done. And I was, the next day, I was like, liposuction, New York, skinny, liposuction. And I mean, LA has changed my mind a little bit. And then I noticed friends do it, friends that look very natural, right? Like, I would think getting your lips done is like as far as I could go, but then I have a friend who's like, what? Do a little Botox in the jawline. And then look at me looking at myself in this mirror right now. It's going to just sharpen you out, Weezy. And then here I am sitting there with her like, huh.
Material world. I want Chanel now, boo.
It would.
Wow.
Oh, it fucked my head up.
I don't know when I'll get there, but I think I will.
I hope you don't.
I will.
Yeah, you will.
I think
Let's
so.
hope you-
I love beauty. No, I do.
Let's get Botox together.
Yes, let's do it. Let's vlog it. I love beauty. I think that it's my, of the 5 things, my top favorite things, like I thought I was going to work in beauty, makeup, journalism was my first love, music, and I'm doing, like, beauty is involved in all of that.
I mean, well, you definitely, I think it's super obvious, especially with the outfits, like the makeup that you choose to do for yourself. Like, you take a long time, but you do it because this is so important to you.
Heck yeah.
And I honestly, I've had to learn too and take away my own feelings towards that. Like, I would get annoyed with girls that did that. I'd be like, oh, they're so extra. But like, some women really believe it's an art. I think you're one of them. Like, you need to look a certain way.
It makes me change the way I tell a story depending on my outfit or makeup. I think it's fun for me. I only want to do what's fun. Again, that's why I don't have a real job. Mm-hmm. I also think there we go. Hey now. But like, it's intentional. When I went, I hate to bring it back to Rory and Mal, but when I went to Rory and Mal, I got there early and our boy Eden was there. Shout out to Eden, Instagram handle there. He was there. He does their engineering. And the second I got in, I already studied the scene. Clara and I were studying the set beforehand to see what would be best for me positioning wise, what kind of highlighter on my face to wear, what to do to be the most universally appealing.
Damn, maybe I would have more brand deals if I thought like that, Brianda. I don't. That's something you are really good at having that for yourself.
Well, listen, here's the thing. So I go out there, I sit down and Eden has worked with me before, so he knows how I am in a room. The first thing I do is I find my point people who can I talk to that's not Rory and Mal or the producer. Be chummy with them. And the first person I see, Eden, Carl, he does their video. Hey, Carl, is there any way I can move this mic stand? He goes, oh, where? It was covering my face. I don't want to block my face. It's something that I got, man. It's a moneymaker. Right. So we move the thing. I position the chair. Eden comes out. He sees me moving shit and shifting shit. And I'm like, I know what to do, you know? And he goes, of course, here comes Diva Bree moving everything around. And I was like, don't you dare say that to people. I actually had to have a conversation with him after because these are people that don't know me. So when he said that, it was really cool for us, like for him to call me Diva. But in front of people that we don't know, it would have a wrong perception of me. They don't know me enough.
Hey, Christian babes in the faith. Are you tired of forgetting commandment numbers 3, 4, 7, 9, and 10 anytime you rip shots of tequila? Are you tired of forgetting Jesus at home because he doesn't fit into your club bag, you whore? You've had it with being a naughty sinner. But wait, there's a solution. Introducing the Baby Jesus Hotline. The latest, most effective tool for sinful behavior prevention. It's simple. Just place the tiny phone in your hoe bag or in between your bosoms before you leave the house. And don't you even think about putting baby Jesus on Do Not Disturb. The microscopic Jesus hotline will automatically play the sound of trumpets at 1,000 decibels to alert you that you are about to sin. Holy moly, that is loud. Baby Jesus, salvation is just a phone call away.
The whole time I was on that session, I kind of was still holding on to that comment that he made, like, oh my God, am I doing? But then I thought about it. No, I'm not going to let someone else's joke cloud my brain. That's how you know I'm not manic, because I'm in a very able, stable place. And I thought, no, I just really care. I care a lot. My intention is to put out good work.
That's what I was gonna do. What I was gonna say. If people that are not like these, they don't understand it, so they mistake it with being vain or being like a diva or whatever. You just have a very clear picture of the final product that you want.
Yeah.
And you just come and design things to make that happen.
I don't have that in me. I didn't even really think of what I was going to wear. You would have thought what you would have worn on Whoreible 2 days before.
But that's the beauty of it too.
And it's not on purpose. It's not that I don't care about your show.
We're different. No. We're different.
That's the beauty of it too. You are... That's what makes you you in
right.
a way.
You're
And that's what makes
back.
her in a way. So it's like, it's the beauty of it, you know?
We're just different.
What are the 3 things you think, or let's say 2, and I think all of us, like when you picture having money, like what you want?
I love that. You know, children that are raised with like exposed to all like the best cuisine or whatever are always my favorite. Like seeing them like eat their little salmon and whatever. Like I didn't have that. I didn't have sushi till I moved to New York. There was I told you about the tuna tartare story. Do you remember the tuna tartare? Oh my God, we should put a clip of Super Trip here.
I love octopus. I love a pate maison.
You know, one time I was with an ex-boyfriend at some fucking restaurant and I saw the menu. I didn't know it was fancy. And I was like, I'll have some tater tots. Or he was like, the tartare, bitch.
The first time you were on Super Trip Talk.
When you went out
You
with
were
a guy.
on there for you were on there for Bougie Trip.
episode, yeah.
Yes. And that was before you made so much more money now. You're more rich now.
I think like the bougie shit is crazy too, because I've always had the taste. Like somebody else was going to pay for it. You know what's the most bougie thing I've done lately?
What?
I went to Whole Foods and I was making a steak for this guy and I wanted to use truffle butter. And they always sell it at Whole Foods and they didn't have it. And I was like, are you guys fucking kidding me? You don't have truffle butter? Ian has made me a lot of money. And I know a lot of people say this about him, but Ian changed my life. Like, for real. And I will say, $10,000 is a lot of money to start with. Right? But I will tell y'all, it turned into 6 figures, $10,000, which is a crazy amount of money when you think about it. And I know I'm talking in large margins here, but like it also took 2.5 years to turn into $100,000, but it happened. And I'm going to tell you what else though. And I pulled it from my 401k. What do you have a 401k through? Black Effect? No, I had it from when I worked at a cell phone and then just from my corporate career. And I just always kept it, never touched it. But when that happened, there were moments where I needed the money. And like I just needed a few thousand and I was about to pull it. And I was like, should I sell this stock? Should I sell it? Dude, the margins on my stock look crazy. I bought Tesla at $298. It's $1,100 today. Right? Like, which is crazy because considering the amount I have. Or like there's another stock, Moderna, $60.
Red Panda. Just hear code Bible. Yeah. Use code Bible.
I bought Moderna at like $69 or something. And it's like $330 something. Like shit that Ian was telling me. And it took time. And I remember calling Ian one day like, can you just tell me something like a penny stock so I don't have to spend $10,000? He's like, Weezy, like this is a different play. Like I'm not, if you want to do cheap shit, talk to somebody else. And he was right. And I had to really buy that slowly. First, I could only afford 3 Tesla. Then I got more and more. That really changed my life because once I started making money, now I have a strategy. And I wouldn't suggest this, and I don't think Ian would either, but this is what I do. So, particularly this stock, what was it? Maybe it was Tesla. It got to like $11.50 the other day. Recently, maybe a few months ago. Sold it all. Kept the capital gains, and I remember I had 40 stocks and then rebought when it went down. I keep doing this now. It's a lot of work. It's like day trading, but like now I'm taking my gains, I sell it, take my gains, sell it. And that has changed my life. Like I put alarms on my phone. I really commit time to doing that. And I do it because that's what's made it easy for me to just
the second I can do that, I'm going to fucking do that.
Buy things. And that's the thing too. I had to learn whatever rich people do, how to invest money to make money. Like that is a real freaking thing. And I'm really like grateful to him for teaching me that.
You and I, a common thing that we talk about, or it's something that's in a lot of our conversations, especially now, is depression. We something that we both were on Lexapro. I just got off it. Oh, bye, Lexi. But feel you on the weight gain, by the way. I get that. That happened with me. I just became really lethargic and stuff. But I ran past a tweet that Lil Duval said. Do you mind if I say it?
Yeah.
Wait, let me find it.
What, the $1,000, $20 thing?
No. It's, okay, I have it right here. Here, he said something. And this is not how I feel towards you. It's the idea of what he's saying that made it pop. Lil Duval, Clara, maybe if we put the tweet here. I hate hearing rich people that complain and always, this is not you, by the way. It's the conversation I want. I hate hearing rich people complain and always act like they're going through shit or going through it. Because I feel like life is simple, and it's even more simpler when you're not worried about your finances. So at the end of the day, what are you stressing over? Especially if you got your health.
A lot of people may not like that comment, but let me explain. When you're grieving through a death or a heartbreak, it is like, fuck. Like there's nothing I can spend to get rid of that pain.
I guess the root of what I was going to say was dealing with depression sucks no matter no matter what tax bracket you're in. But depression is a whole lot more comfy when you got money.
Yeah.
Depression and no money is another kind of pain.
And like,
or not pain, it's another kind of
depression and no money is
suffering.
scary because it's like, these are basic things we need. Food, shelter. What's the other one? I'm sorry. Is it food, shelter, something?
Sex.
But when you feel like you can't pay your bills, you can't survive, that's depressing. Instagram, being broke and having Instagram was the worst thing for me. I was like, damn, I want to go somewhere. God damn it.
Weezy.
It's the worst.
No, I know.
And like, I think also, I can't change what my life has become, right? Also, I grew up privileged. Like, I grew up with nice things. Like, my parents
Your
lost
first car was a Jaguar.
Yeah, it was the oldest one, but like, my mom knew I was like, I have to have this because that's what I grew up with. And when my parents lost all their money, I think actually that's what grew my hustle spirit.
Yeah, when you lost it.
When you don't have it anymore, it's like, oh, I have to. Money security is so important.
Once you have it and you see it and it's taken away from you.
Oh, that shit is hard.
Right. Because once you've never had it, it's kind of tough. I've never had money, so I'm like, I've had a good year. 2017 was good.
And but experiencing nice things,
right.
You get taste, but that really scared me. But
that's why you are the way you are. You're a hustler.
Oh, I can't not have it, right? But also, I'm also not the person that like finished college. Like, I've had to like figure out how to make different money. And I'm not saying like I've struggled in this way of like having nothing, but I will just tell you this. I've definitely had to borrow. I've definitely slept with someone for money. I've definitely done some things I'm not proud of for money. And granted, it made it easier to get it, but like that was what I did, whether it be like a crime or some shit to like a crime, like selling pussy is a crime. Holding weight is a crime, if anyone knows what that means. Like, there's things that I would do because I'm like, I have to have it. So it like I would do anything.
This is great for your memoir. What would be the title of your future? Your like
selling pussy to selling socks.
Wow, I think we should end it on that note. Selling pussy
to selling socks. Actually, wait, I guess you don't want to.
You said socks.
You want to trade. That's why when people are like, "Oh, you have an OnlyFans. What are your kids gonna think of you?" What are my kids? Let them look up WeezyWTF. Here's your mother talking about cream pies.
Oh my God.
Not
Weezy, do you think about that, Weezy?
I don't care.
Okay, there we go.
Because I'll tell you what, that cream pie led to that big ass house. And no matter what people can say about me, the things that I will attain and need, and I don't give a fuck how superficial it sounds. These are things I've wanted as a kid that I always thought I would have to be with a man for. But I'll have them.
There's a part of, listen, this is what you do, yeah? You are defending, normalizing this sexual speech, like speaking about sex and normalizing things. those are values you're going to have to put into your children. So if I'm talking about this because it's not a taboo, it's something that it should be an open talk and people should learn more about this type of shit, that's something you have to trespass onto your children. Like,
well, I think
it's okay to talk about these things, and it's not, you shouldn't be scared of talking about these.
And
like,
I may be
it's okay
lucky because when we all have children, it may be so woke then that they'd be like, "Go, mom!" You know what I mean? Like,
I wish we'd
that's what I'm
sleep.
saying.
I wish we'd sleep
Like-
a bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're too woke, but yeah, keep going. Because hearing
I
you say
always
this, I'm
say-
like, yeah, kids need to know about sex positivity, but do they need to know about cream pies? Now I've been on a handful of pods. I've done a number. I have a got sizable amount, almost a year in March. Feb for planning. February would be a year in planning for Bible. I'm starting to notice, and I don't know if I like it yet. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. I'm starting to feel a little hacky when it comes to the Bible bit. Because my Bible and my devotional practice and my faith is not something that is this gimmicky, hacky thing. Like I literally live my life around this. I try to, at least. When I go on shows and people ask me the same questions, or they'll end everything with, "What's your favorite Bible verse? Oh, give us your favorite Bible verse." I understand why people say it. I'm Bible Brianda. I get why. And this is what I'm starting. This is the brand that I'm developing.
that's important for people to know.
For sure. And that's why I talk about the end of Bible. Because I think people work better and work harder when there's an end goal in mind, as opposed to something indefinite. So I do want Bible stories with Brianda to end eventually.
And turn into
something else.
Right.
And I would like for the listeners to want to come along for the ride.
And it may just be conversations like this.
Right. So my question for you is, does the sex ever get gimmicky, hacky? And the way that I was feeling that it is in my case for me, like the whole Bible bit. Oh, is this a Bible? Like, you know?
Nah. I'll tell you why. There may be a point where it did, but I learned it. I learned that, and this is another interesting thing too, and maybe Mandii and I should dive into that episode and some of the things she said, because so many of them bothered me because I believe they're 100% untrue.
Did you watch No Jumper?
I had a very hard time listening to that, but my phone was blowing up.
Okay, I didn't text you because I knew people already handling it, but okay.
I thought the worst thing was, like, when you have a coworker you don't want to speak to, it's like that. I was like, God damn. Like, but okay. One of the things
you and her want to talk about.
I'm sorry, we were saying something about gimmicky, hacky. Oh,
yes,
she said it was so niche, we can only talk about sex. And then I remember venting about it to someone else. Whatever, it was Maul. And he was like, that's crazy, because our episode had everything.
Great episode, by the way, this one.
And I only, would call another podcaster, another friend in business, because genuinely don't know how to have those conversations. I tried to have a conversation with her about it, but she was too busy, and I didn't want to have it on Zoom, and that was all her availability was for. So it really.
Are you okay with this coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
I mean, I think it's very clear that, if she's okay saying those things,
online,
I should be okay to be able to talk about those otherwise. And since she doesn't have time to talk, maybe she'll see it too.
I think, Weezy, I won't say anything, but and that's all I'll say.
Lord, remove it. Thank you.
Remove it.
But Whoreible Decisions to me is not just sex. It's just not in the way that we promote it and once thought it was. It gets a lot deeper and a lot more about, I would even say, womanhood, sexuality, life, relationships. And I can say that because the journey that I've been on with depression has been an interesting one. And there's so much we've learned about Mandii with her life and things she's went through in entrepreneurship and hardship, or her family, that I realized, like, if the listener knows that much about us, this isn't just about sex anymore. It's not just a catch up in the beginning. This is genuinely like tales of womanhood. That is why I don't think Whoreible Decisions is necessarily one dimensional, and that it will evolve and could evolve.
I find that I'm thinking of it as gimmicky, hacky, because I'm just stepping into the arena. You've been in the arena for a little bit longer. You've started to develop this really kind of cool and admirable way. I'm watching you speak about it. I'm like analyzing every single part of you because I want to one day get there where I can synthesize my feelings towards the product and not have it affect me in such a visceral way. That takes skill. That takes experience.
And honestly, when it comes to like even talking about that moment or me being upset, you mentioned No Jumper and there was another podcast or whatever, like there's a real moment. And that's when the phone calls to friends happen. Like, what do? I have to be in LA and perform on stage with this person. That's when I had to learn that like, there's nothing I can change. I can only be the person I am. You know what I mean? I can only try to grow from this. It's not the first time. And it won't be the last time that I may feel this way. But just focusing on the business and the brand and still being able to grow the product no matter how I'm feeling is the most important thing. Because my feelings through immaturity were, fuck her, I'm done with Whoreible Decisions, I'm out. Today, it's like, in that moment, fuck her. But also, I can't really live in that feeling because I have a job to do. So I don't feel that same way like I can show up and see my co-host and not care about her day. When I sit down, I'm interested because that's my job. Years ago, again, I probably would have said, fuck her, fuck this product, fuck Whoreible Decisions. Because I used to say in therapy, and I remember one of the things we argued about was I was like, I don't need this shit. I don't need this shit. I'm done. And I don't need this shit. Right? Fuck Kenya. Not fuck Kenya.
Hey now. Hey,
more like
hey.
fuck my new job being something to need. I'm going to make money anyway.
Because God has a plan for you. I'm
Come
sorry.
on, Drake.
I have to bring it back.
Back sometimes.
Yes, man. But listen. Jeremiah 29:11. The Lord has a plan for every single one of us. It's already written. I've said it before in the pod. I'll say it again. It's like if life was a YouTube video, the Lord has already seen it from start to finish. He already knows there's a plan. It already has your name on it. It's etched already.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And that I think, whether I felt like it was God or not, that was why I would say those things, because I know I don't need this to be who I'll be.
Say that.
However, I do need and love doing Whoreible Decisions. And so in turn with that, like, I can't be like, fuck this person. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not conducive to me doing my job. And that's not conducive to me telling you to listen to the show. Like, no matter how I could feel, the things that I could say on a phone call, privately to someone else isn't necessarily the things I could say on a podcast. So, I always try to approach those things with love. And even if I haven't before, and actually Mandii taught me that, because how dare I have a show with you and really let these people laugh about you in a room. And Mandii taught me that lesson that I honor today, which is really why I've done my best to make sure that I speak the best about her that I can, even when I acknowledge that we aren't friends, because I don't think that's a terrible thing to say. I just know that my relationship with her and her relationship to the show and each other is something that is worth being gracious about in public. And she taught me that. So over the years, I feel like I've become a better person from learning that lesson and understanding, because I made a lot of mistakes as a friend, and a business partner. But like, I've now learned just frankly how to have some couth in what we do, and that there's a place for everything. So again, it's not going to be the first time it happens or the last, like it wasn't the first, but.
Can I tell you something?
What?
You're going to kill me. Hi, Tangie. But you've said couth now twice in the episode, but because of your overbite, it sounds like you're saying couth. Couth. No, I thought you meant like a coup.
There's something else. There's something else that I say.
I love your teeth.
I have a little bit of a Charlemagne lisp. Sometimes he says
he
shit.
has a lisp for sure.
My teeth get in the way.
What's yours? Your resolution for 2022?
It's a goal more than a resolution.
Goal.
I want to own a home or open a beauty supply store.
Open a beauty supply store.
They require the same amount of money. I've looked it up. There's no beauty supply store in the Lower East Side that's big enough. There's a small one on Clinton. No shade to them. They don't really sell hair. Like, I just have to go so far to get my hair done, and I'm fucking sickly. I'm sickly. I have to not get my hair done.
Was that an Asian thing? Sick of it.
Oh no, that's the City Girls. Young Miami. She was like, "You keep wearing that fucking bag," and I'm sickly.
Oh yeah, her accent is crazy.
Me and Penny talk like that nonstop.
Yeah, girl.
Anyway, Wait. No, not to get my hair done. Go to the beauty supply store. And then there's like the garment district in the 30s. They gotta go to 35th Street to get some hair, and it's not even good hair. But then I gotta go to downtown Brooklyn. I don't feel like getting on the train.
You want to do it. You want to make the change.
There's a bunch of girls that need this shit that are in downtown Manhattan, and we keep acting like black people don't exist here, and they do. Hello. Latinos are like the original freaking Lower East Siders. Sure. So I just feel like I need to open this beauty supply store, and I have some little things that I want to do within it that I think are innovative. Oh my God, I would want you.
I will literally work there part-time.
Hell yeah.
Love you, baby. We got to wind down. We got to wind down. I'm sorry, that was a terrible exit, but we do have to go.
No, selling pussy and selling stocks. Boom.
Selling pussy and selling stocks. Thank you so much for coming on. I never know how to end these things, by the way. I'm still learning. If you guys have any ideas.
Let me walk away so you can call God.
No. Stay. We don't. He'll call later. Bye guys. Thank you for coming. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. De todo. What's the other ones? You say.
And a happy New Year.
Bye.